being around you guys so much, all you got, even when you win, you're always like, if. It's like, you guys live in if so much.
Oh, no doubt. That's all of gambling, right? IF, right at the top of the I chart. Big I, big fucking F.
So to me, going in, try and get rid of one of the ifs. Put some money on the fucking chalk in these box scenarios. You're not being a chalk-eating pig. You'll throw balloons on the top, but don't fuck yourself before you begin.
Can you win in life when you're trying to protect your ass? That's really the question that you're asking yourself. See, the Derby is not really about a horse race. It's about life in general. It's about looking in the mirror and asking yourself, what kind of balls do you really have?
The Derby's not a horse race.
It's self-assessment time, people. It's coming up on Saturday.
It's about life.
6:30. See what kind of person you really are. Do you have the balls to leave out the chalk?
The time. Wake up with Defo, joined by Lubie. Welcome to the Defo Show.
Very pleasant. Good morning, everybody. Look at that. He's right there. Unbelievable. Right at the top of the show here. Dave Gurggles Gergely. And we will have an edition, an early edition of the Trivia Challenge. Usually Dave's with us on Thursdays. And so we had to change some things up because, Lubie, what is the story now? And welcome to the show, everybody. Jeff DeForest, we've got Mike Lubie Lubitz, and the very handsome one at the bottom of your screen there is the great Dave Gurggles Gergely, who was right there with us. You didn't realize that you were battling an overwhelming and hugely cumbersome burden with your choice of the 8-ball just a touch in the Kentucky Derby. And I didn't get back to you on this because I didn't know if it was enough to dissuade you from betting the horse. And I'm not sure exactly what you did in the Derby. But the Polyman had given out just a touch as his horse to win the Derby. And then I'm watching FanDuel TV, as is a custom here at the DeForest household. Is that all you do is watch horse racing? It's a weird thing when a woman actually discovers that you really are just a complete freak and that you have no conscience about her feelings or what it is she wants to do. You're just going to watch and bet horses all day. But nonetheless, I'm watching FanDuel TV, and what do I see pop up? They have the various hosts' Derby choices, and who has just a touch on top? I think the only one that had just a touch on top, our good friend Todd Schrupp, who, as we said, I mean, we always talk about the curse of Rachel Nichols, where Rachel Nichols Gurggles interviews somebody. It doesn't matter how prominent they are in the NBA, but they face catastrophe coming up in the immediate future. If it's not like that day where they fall off the stage after the interview, it's shortly thereafter. They bust a knee, something happens, they get traded to a team that nobody cares about. So it's the curse of Rachel Nichols. Rachel Nichols could have been writing just a touch, and it wouldn't have been a bigger curse than having Todd Schrupp say, you know who I like? I like the 8 there, Christina. What do you think?
No.
So that you're excused. I don't know if it changed your thinking. Were you aware that Schrupp had picked the 8-ball to win the Derby?
No, but I did talk to Paul before the Derby.
Oh, you mentioned it?
Yeah, and I mentioned to him, I said, Paul, you know, if the weather's bad like it's supposed to be, I like Mystic Dan. And I mentioned it. And then I get to the Gulfstream for simulcasting, and it goes from sloppy to good to fast, and I abandoned the horse. And Hernandez has been riding terrific for McPeak as well. So
seemed like a really good guy, Brian.
Yeah,
Hernandez.
The only good news is Lenny asked me who I liked, and I told him just a touch. So he owes me $26 for bets on that horse.
It was a surprisingly bad performance by a Polyman pick. I mean, everybody's going to throw in a clunker now and then. You can't win them all. Polyman's been dynamite on the Derby, which is why I'm more than happy to defer to him. I did torch a stick altogether in my partnership with Piscataway Ray, and we were nowhere. The only thing that we were debating that we ultimately didn't do because we were trying to go with the theme of fuck the favorites. But right. we did buy into the bounce theory and the possibility that Fierceness, as awesome as he looked in the Florida Derby, and you wouldn't have a sense if you watched the Florida Derby at 1 1/8 that Fierceness was going to cave in because of the distance of 1 1/4. You would have thought, wow, that horse was seriously under wraps through the entire stretch and still won by 20. Now, the other question would be, what did he beat in the Florida Derby? And then Churchill Downs, it's just a bizarre surface by comparison to almost anything else in the country. It's very hard to determine who's going to like racing over the Churchill Downs Strip if they haven't been there before, which many horses had no experience over that track, if not all of them. I don't know. I would imagine a couple of them ran at Churchill. But, yes. So we threw out Fierceness, and we were on the fence about Sierra Leone, thinking that Probably be a fast pace, and Sierra Leone's probably going to pick up tired horses in the stretch, so could easily be second or third in the race. Could have easily won the race if he wasn't busy crashing into Forever Young the entire stretch. But so we left them both out of our equation, and unfortunately, we made zero money.
If Sierra Leone gets up, which is a woulda, coulda, shoulda, Partners and me had the late pick 4 then after that.
Oh, yeah?
So,
wow. That had to be a monster, no?
That was a good number. We obviously, and I ran second and third in exact as I used Forever Young and Sierra Leone, along with Just a Touch. But hey, turn the page. Preakness in another week.
And a lot of these horses, I think, are not going to be running, at least the top finishers.
Usually that's the case, yeah.
Mystic Dan is out for sure. Not going to run. Going to wait for the Belmont Stakes. Too short of a time in between. I'm pretty sure that they've already made that announcement. Sierra Leone is definitely out and is not going to run in the Preakness. And Forever Young is shipped back to Japan. So unlikely that they're going to send this horse to Japan and then send it back here a couple of weeks later. So many of the top finishers, it's like a brand new board.
Yeah,
that we can bet into in the Preakness, which I don't know. I mean, I kind of like when the Derby winner is overbet in the Preakness, because most people figure, and you know this from being around the track forever, that you look at a horse's last race. I mean, you would always bet the horse that won its last race if you were going to go by that theory. And yet, I mean, we know that that's a failed formula, and a formula for financial and I mean, it's disastrous if you're going to buy into that. So we'll see. It could be very wide open and a lot of fun watching the Preakness. All right, we're going to get into the trivia challenge here with Dave Gurggles Gergely. You want to get right into it, Gurgs?
Sure, I'm ready.
What do you think, Lubie? You ready to roll with this thing? Okay. All right, you can dial us up at 954 because Lubie's got an amazing day of consumption coming up, courtesy of one Mike Mayo, Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. He's got a doubleheader. And one of the shows is going to be at like 10:30 this morning at a place called Grandpa's in Dania, which I don't know if you've been there. You're not a big bagel guy, Gurggles, I would imagine. I mean, you probably eat them. But
though, I know it. It's famous for their breakfast.
Breakfast. They do great breakfast.
Great. I mean, it's a great spot. It really is. It's, if not it's one of the top deli type places anywhere here in South Florida where this kind of food is extremely popular. But they do a great job there. Yep. And Mark and Mark, I guess, are the two owners. Mark Freed is the guy that we usually run into. So they're going to be doing that 10:30. And then what is it? CJ Oyster House?
J&C. You were close.
J&C. Yeah.
J&C Oyster House off Harrison Street.
Hot new place in Hollywood, Gurgs. Everybody's raving about this place, saying they're cooking with wild imagination. Prices are good. The atmosphere is great. They got a top chef there. So Lubie's going to be chowing down a couple of times today, which is not surprising. And Mayo, remarkably, is kind of sticking to his desire to lose weight. And even though he's shoveling food in his face, he's doing it without eating a lot of carbs, and it seems to be working. I mean, holy Atkins diet. What are we talking about here? So we have that coming up. So we'll get right into the game here and get Lubie off to the breakfast session. I unfortunately have to pass on that due to the fact that I'm doing a show, I believe, that is only being aired on a Spanish radio station in Orlando.
Oh, bueno.
This is what it's come to, man. I'm actually getting paid a couple of bucks for this.
You've made it.
With the theory, that it's going to blossom into something of great significance, and I'm not sure that it is, but I love being on a Spanish Orlando radio station. I think that's quite a distinction and a great way to end up the career because I sort of started at a station that was a sister station of a Mexican music radio station, and what was great about that, well, it wasn't so great actually, but you would walk in there, they had very attractive women, even though it was radio. Being the DJs on these radio stations. This was in, it was in Rancho Cucamonga, California, was where the station was located. Now a hot metropolis, whereas then it was just a bunch of vineyards and tumbleweed. So, but they are you familiar with the cologne or perfume that women used to use called Jungle Gardenia?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Oh my God, this woman used to bathe in Jungle Gardenia, and then she was in the small little radio booth. And you would walk in there, and literally you would pass out. Gas fumes were emanating from this woman's body. It was insane. I'll never forget that. I still have horrors about Jungle Gardenia. If I see it, I don't. Do they make it anymore? Does anybody buy or use Jungle Gardenia? When was the last time you sniffed a little, Jungle Gardenia? A woman walks by you in a bar and go, "Oh wow, Jungle Gardenia! I love that." So we'll get right into the game is what I'm trying to say here. All right, dial us up 954-417-0070, 417-0070. Are you ready? We'll dedicate
Yes,
this into the Polyman. Having the good sense to bail on your own selection, no matter how strong a conviction it is, if you know that a known kiss of death has given this out on national TV as his or her selection, I think takes into consideration the idea that you're a very astute bettor. So in honor of the Polyman, here we go. Dave Gurggles Gergely.
And a little easy baseball. This player, summing up his career, said, when you're 21 in baseball, you're a prospect. When you're 30, you're a suspect. Who's that? Jim McLaughlin, Jim Neighbors, Gymnasium, or Jungle Gym?
All right, roll it, Lubie. Let's get the random phone scrambler involved here. And look at that. We already have players, Gurggles. Ron, you're up first on the Trivia Challenge, the Wednesday edition of the Trivia Challenge. Hello.
Good morning, fellas. Let's go with A.
A is correct. You're on the board, and we're ready to roll.
Attaboy, Ron. Baseball. Believe it or not, Ron, true or false, MLB Network now shows a segment entitled The Week's Best Bat Flips, encouraging and spotlighting showboat home run hitters.
Wow.
True or false?
Let's go true.
That is true.
That is true. Wow.
Yeah.
Phil Mushnick would love that. Mushnick,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
He
Mushnick.
hates all of this shit. He can't
Right.
believe that they actually acknowledge posing at home plate while ball bounces off the wall in John Sterling type fashion, and the guy gets a single out of it. Crazy. All right, 2 for 2, going for 5.
All right. Obviously, it was set for last week. I have some Derby questions like this one. Only 2 Canadian-bred horses have ever won the Kentucky Derby. Sonny's Halo and
Ooh.
Tim Tam, Citation, Offshore Judge, or Northern Dancer.
Let's go Northern Dancer.
Yes.
Wow.
1964. Well done.
Is there anything Ron doesn't know? I mean, he knows horse racing. He knows baseball.
Golf.
Does he know enough to get the 5-point question and accomplish an early sweep? Here we go.
Wow.
Wow. Holy shit.
Here we go. Let's give you AFL football. Who holds the AFL record for most yards rushing in a single game with 243?
Okay.
Is that O.J. Simpson, Clem Daniels, Cookie Gilchrist, or Jim Nance?
Wow.
I don't know AFL at all.
Repeat those again?
Sure. Who holds the AFL record for most yards rushing in a single game? 243 yards. O.J. Simpson, Clem Daniels, Cookie Gilchrist, Jim Nance.
Let's go Clem Daniels.
That would be the odd name that didn't fit the group there. Kind
It
of like
was-
Offshore Judge with your Derby winners.
It was the Cookie Gilchrist.
Cookie Gilchrist. Okay.
1963.
Hang around, Ron. You may be in the final.
That was going to be my guess there. But yeah, you always throw me when you throw in the oddball name that the other guys are all greats, and the fourth guy you never heard of. All right, dial us up if you want to play 954-417-0070. 954-417-0070. We'll play as many as we can before we hit the wire. It's going to be a little bit of an early wire, so you want to jump on board. 954-417-0070. I know it's a little bit. I mean, you can't alter people's consciousness sometimes, Gergs, and you know this, Lubie. Especially with radio is an habitual listening type of habit here. So normally we're doing this on Thursday. We're doing it on Wednesday because Lubie, what exactly is it you're doing? You're going out on your mother's birthday or something?
Going to my mother-in-law's college master's graduation.
Wow,
Oh,
your
terrific.
mother-in-law is graduating with a master's from where?
Yes, it's been a fucking thing that I stood. She already had a master's from DR, but she felt she needed one in America, and she works for Nova. So I guess they're helping pay for most of it. I don't know, but it's been like 3 fucking years, this thing, and we've all heard of it, and it's been a drain on my father-in-law's life.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
She's been hounding us to go to this. So I'll be there.
Nova Southeastern University. Say hello to Tony Segreto. He'll probably be out there
He may be.
fundraising or doing something.
So I'm
All
sorry.
right,
but I'll be
Gurggles,
there.
what about Perdomo Cigars? Give us a quick word on Perdomo, and then we'll
Yes,
sell some
had a
spots
nice
or sell
Perdomo
some stuff.
cigar yesterday. Yesterday I was at Jacaranda doing a little Beat the Broadcaster for the Epic Foundation, and there I am in the Maldives. But you don't have to go to the Maldives to get a Perdomo cigar. You can come right here to Golf Club of Miami, where we sell them in the pro shop, or right down the road at 5150 Northwest 167th Street, right in Miami Lakes area, on the south side of the street, just a little bit east of the Home Depot, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. Walk in there, and Nuvia will help you. And you can walk into that great humidor, our late great friend, the Mad Dog Bill, whether it's a Lot 23, like I'm enjoying right there, or whether you like a Maduro wrapper and a little bit stronger, or the 10th or 20th anniversary, they make them perfect one at a time. If you're not sure, call them 305-627-6700. And maybe it's a Saturday or Sunday, and Perdomo's, because if it's a family business, is closed. Any cigar person near you should have Perdomo cigars. If you're not sure, go online to www.perdomocigars.com. And believe it or not, they're selling a lot of them for Mother's Day, because women are smoking cigars fashionably as well. No more of that 100s Virginia Slims or any of that crap. They're smoking good Perdomo cigars. Yep. So this weekend, when we don't have any Triple Crown races, and we'll probably break even, put something great in your mouth with a cigar from Perdomo Cigars.
All right, we're coming right back. Dial us up if you want to play. We'll play as many as we can. 954-417-0070. We got Dave Gurggles Gergely in the Trivia Challenge on a Wednesday. And Louie and I will be back in a moment. Now that. It's 8:27. Champions, the outstanding simulcasting room at beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, the grand old lady of thoroughbred racing has never been more vibrant, and you can wager on the races from the top tracks around the country while enjoying a cocktail at the Brass Rail Bar or any of the fine food served throughout the facility. If poker is your game, you're covered in style, and you can play all your favorite Vegas-style games, including blackjack, craps, and roulette, in Hialeah Park's sizzling hot casino. Get a player's card when you walk through the door for all kinds of generous amenities, including our favorite, free play, when you come out to the ultimate casino and entertainment destination, Hialeah Park.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubber's Raw Bar and Grill in Plantation, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers, Raw Bar and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.
Are you looking to buy your first home? Have you been turned down for a loan? Do you need to refinance or get money out of your home? Call Michael Kodsey, CEO of Choice Mortgage. He's been helping the South Florida community get mortgages for 30 years.
Hi, this is Michael Kodsey, CEO of Choice Mortgage. We have the most competitive fixed rates in the market. Call me 24/7, 561-441-2730. And remember, I don't just work banking hours. To make the right choice for your home, call Choice Mortgage today.
Oh, Solo Volante will be coming late. Oh, Solo Volante, the Belmont's now 1.8 miles. The finish line is coming up quick. Luca Panici, just switch the stick.
The only way to get the morning started is with Defo, joined by Lubie, right here on The Defo Show.
All right, we're actually in the deep stretch here on the Trivia Challenge. Dave Gurggles Gergely, the master of ceremonies. We've got Mike Lubitz. He's got an exit stage left in about 15 minutes, so that he can make it down to Grandpa's there. And you have to like this, though, Lubie, with Mayo not eating carbs anymore. When they bring that platter of bagels to the table there, they're all yours.
I'm not upset at that.
Yeah. Well, those are some good-ass bagels, man.
Bagels are great.
By many to be the best in South Florida. All right, right back into it, 954-417-0070. We're trying to play a few more people, and you can dial us up at 954-417-0070. Right back into the game. Dave Gurggles Gergely. Ron's in the lead with 5.
Horses. This comedian, on his wife's patience with his love for betting horses, said, the other day I came home from the track, and my wife asked me how I did. I said, I had a really good $400 hot dog. Who's that? Tim Conway, Bert Convey, Burt Reynolds, or Allie Reynolds?
I used to love those $300 dogs at Calder during the summertime there. You would go, I'm just going to bet a race, have a hot dog. All right, here's Pat. Pat's up next here on the Trivia Challenge. Pat, how are you, my friend?
Good morning, guys. Hey?
Correct. Right on the money. You have 1 point.
All right, Pat, let's stick with horse racing. Believe it or not, horses beginning with the letter A have won the Derby the most times, 12 times, starting with the first Derby in 1875, Aristides, and then later the American Pharaoh. True or false?
All right.
Say false.
It is false.
All right.
The letter S has won
S.
17 times.
Super Saber was one of those.
Secretariat, Seattle Slew,
Make
Super
it out.
Saber, etc. Yep.
Very nice. Secretariat. All right. Good job. Pat sniffing that out. 2 for 2, going for 5, and a tie for the lead.
All right, baseball, Pat. 3 players have at least 500 home runs in a career. I think I asked this one already. Let's skip that.
Today?
Baseball.
All right.
Who are the
Hey. I didn't hear that one.
Who are the only 500 home run hitters to never lead the league in RBIs?
Oh, in RBIs.
Frank Thomas and whom?
Ooh.
Eddie Murray, Gary Sheffield, Mel Ott, or Harmon Killebrew?
Wow.
Melot.
The Oddster. No.
Believe it or not, it's the logo of baseball, Harmon Killebrew.
Killebrew never did it, huh? RBIs? Man, what arms that guy had.
NBA, Pat, your 5-point question.
There you go.
Which 2 teams who played in the NBA Finals were the first to have games 1 and 2 go into overtime?
Oh, wow.
Which of these 2 teams? Celtics and 76ers, Knicks and Lakers, Warriors and Cavaliers, or Heat and Mavericks? The first 2 games went to overtime.
Warriors and Cavaliers.
Warriors and Cavs, he said. Warriors and Cavs.
What's that?
Warriors, Cavs.
and Cavs. Warriors and Cavs was his answer.
That's exactly right.
There you go.
2015.
Nice.
Well done.
I had a funny feeling that was the answer. All right, 7 for Pat now. We have 2 players with a hefty total. See if we can try and break that tie. If you want to get another person in here, Lubie, 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070. It might be a double cross of Lenny the Chronic here also. Seeing as I don't know that we made any big announcement about this. Was this on social media, Lubie? Did you put this out on our various Instagram accounts?
I think Lenny is aware. Lenny's aware because he's already checked in on the message board to say hello.
Oh, okay, good. So maybe we can get Lenny involved in the game. Yeah.
Lenny works for a crematory firm, and because of the horse Todd Schrupp gave out and me and Paulie did, he might be very busy with burying people that we've buried.
That has a high degree of difficulty being able to give out the last place horse in the dirt.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes
you may or may not remember in Vegas when years ago, one of the casinos had, if you bet a horse and he finished last, they gave you your money back.
Well, we're all due for a refund there. I think I was betting with that organization. I'm not sure. All right, let's get right back into it. Next set of questions, and we're going to make this the final one. So we'll see, who makes it to the championship round. Here we go.
Hockey. This Boston Bruins coach had a unique strategy versus the great one, Wayne Gretzky said, the only way you can really check Gretzky is to hit him when he's standing still singing the national anthem. Harry Sinden, Hal Linden, Hal Lanier, or Willie Lanier?
Was there a rule to lay off Gretzky, though? I mean, it didn't seem like he got banged around as much as some others might in the NHL. All right, here's Lenny the Chronic, the aforementioned Lenny the Chronic, the all-time champion of the Trivia Challenge. Lenny, how are you, my friend?
All right, guys, how you doing?
Good morning.
Well, was this a hot date that you were on the other day? I saw a picture of you with a babe on social media.
That's my good friend. She's in from out of town. I went up to North Palm Beach. I'm going up there again today.
I would too, man.
Hanging up by the Marriott Resort. Nice time.
I can see you in a nice seersucker suit, pink.
He looked great, Lenny. I mean, he's with this hot babe, and
yeah. What do you guys think about that? The controversy for second and third place in the Derby. Me and Ron got screwed. They held that horse.
Yeah, could have been a DQ. The jockey, the Japanese jockey for Forever Young, said that was bumping back and forth, and that's why he didn't claim foul. And it seemed like the stewards were waiting for somebody to claim foul, even though they were watching something that looked a little bit like the second Gotti Ward fight going on during the stretch there. I mean, they were banging away, those two horses.
I read that when the jockey called for the objection, it was like a Japanese movie, and the words came out later after his lips moved, so they didn't allow it.
The common theme is that Otani's interpreter actually was the guy that was talking, and that he had the exacta with Sierra Leone. So he said that he doesn't want to claim foul. He says nothing happened. Yeah, that was it.
Give me $9 million. Yeah.
All right, you have 1 point, Lenny. You're in the game.
True or false, Lenny?
Thank you.
The NFL draft, back to Mr. Irrelevant. In 1979, believe it or not, the Steelers and the Rams both wanted the publicity of selecting Mr. Irrelevant. So the Steelers passed on the second last pick to get the Rams' last pick. The Rams then did the same, so the Steelers would get the last pick, causing then Commissioner Pete Rozelle to step in and say, you cannot pass on that last pick. True or false?
I say false.
No.
That's
That's true. That's how they passed that rule.
Sounds like something that the Dolphins would do, right? Chris Greer would trade down to get the Mr. Irrelevant pick.
Sounds so Dolphins.
Because he wanted to make sure that the guy had like no chance to play in the NFL. So. All right, 2 for 2, Lenny, with a true-false correctly nailed. So this is very unusual. And a chance to catapult yourself into the finals here. You got it wrong. That's right.
Lenny.
Okay, like I said, I wanted to give it to him.
Horse racing. Who portrayed Calvin Burrell in the movie 50-1 about long shot derby winner Mind That Bird? Was it Shia LaBeouf, Gary Stevens, he played himself, or Kobe Maguire?
I think he played himself.
That's what I'm going to say. Yes.
That's exactly correct. Well done.
Who could possibly be made up to look anything like Calvin Burrell? I mean, does he not look like the epitome of some guy that came right off the farm there and ended up as a Kentucky hard boot?
Looks like an extra on Hee Haw.
He looked like some of that Romanian, mafia that Ray Donovan was fighting with a baseball bat while they all had machine guns and somehow prevailed with John Voight. All right, here we go. We got a 5-point question coming up.
There we go, Lenny. Hoops. Rudy Gobert became the third 4-time winner of Defensive Player of the Year, joining Dikembe Mutombo and
who?
Dennis Rodman, Casey Jones, Ben Wallace, or Gary the Glove Payton.
I took him off. Do the question again, Gurggles. I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was.
Oh, that's okay.
Rudy
Gobert became the third 4-time winner of Defensive Player of the Year, joining Dikembe Mutombo and whom? Dennis Rodman, Casey Jones, Ben Wallace, or Gary the Glove Payton?
Very good. I know that answer. I'm going to write it right here. Ben Wallace. There you go.
Ben Wallace is correct.
That was good. Did you get the New York Post this morning?
I did not. I heard it overnight.
Gobert, the Minnesota center, was announced Tuesday as the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year.
That's such a fucking joke.
A record-tying 4th time.
That's a joke.
Joining Dikembe Mutombo and Ben Wallace. Very nice.
Doesn't get the post.
All right, so Lenny got that right, and that puts him in the finals. And it's going to put him in the finals against Pat. In the meantime, while Lubie assembles that, tell us some more about Perdomo Cigars, Dave Gurggles Gergely, which you've been advocating. How long have we been doing the show? Like almost, is it getting towards 30 years now?
1998 we started.
Wow, 26 years. Unbelievable.
Yep, and Perdomo was on from day one.
Day one, man. You went right down there, and Nick Perdomo said, sure, Gurgs, whatever you need.
Well, back then, what used to be Steak 2 had a humidor in there, cigar smoking. Nick was in there having a cigar. I chatted with him. We became fast friends, and you know his legendary story of having ridden with him on an airplane. Just a great, great family business. 3 generations. His son's in now, and his son has just welcomed a baby girl. And the Perdomo family are doing great, and you can go see him.
Cuban seed tobacco grown in Nicaragua, man. That's a novel idea.
That's right.
Holy Alexis Argoyo. How did this guy come up with this plan?
Tobacco grown in Nicaragua, 5150 Northwest 167th Street. Father's Day is coming in June. Mother's Day is this weekend. Just pick it up for yourself, if you will. Go right to Perdomo Cigars or call them 305-627-6700. And tonight, when the Florida Panthers even up the series with a 4-2 win over the Bruins, put something great in your mouth with a cigar from Perdomo Cigars.
Could you send a box to our good friend Andy? He's going to take up smoking cigars since,
Jeez.
He just graduated again from like Holy Cross Hospital or wherever he was stuck somewhere in Plantation.
We did send a box when
don't say when you talk about sending a box for Andy, you got to be careful.
Yes, cigars.
No, we sent a box to Jack McKeon when the Marlins won the World Series.
Oh, nice, yeah.
And he
don't be sending a pine box though for Andy. He's still doing great. He's out. All right, here we go. The finals are set. Lenny and Pat, a couple of legendary players. Gurgs is going to fire off the question. Call out your name if you want to answer. Nobody answers right away. We offer multiple choice. The first person to call out his name gets first choice. We go back and forth until we have a winner. Those are the rules, and we may call a moving screen depending on who wins. So here we go.
Another derby question, guys. Who's the only trainer to saddle the winner and third place horse in the same Kentucky Derby.
Wow, that's a
The
tough
only
one.
trainer
All
to
right.
do that.
Here we go. Choices.
Nick Zito, Wayne Lucas, Sonny Jim Fitzsimmons, or Woody Stevens.
Wow.
Pat,
Pat knows it.
go for it.
Lucas.
Dwayne.
Dwayne.
That's right.
That's right.
1996.
Smokes, Lenny.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Did you feed Pat the answer prior to the show, Gurggles? Because, I mean, he knew that. You could tell it was with conviction. He didn't even need the fucking choices. It was great.
I gave Lenny the wrong answer, but I didn't give Pat the right one.
All right, so this is a little uncharacteristic of the Trivia Challenge because there's no live Lubie Trivia Challenge tonight at Landlubbers, but that will be tomorrow night, right?
Tomorrow night we will have trivia.
Okay, very good, Lubie. And Gurgs, are you inclined to go out there? Because you've been
we'll
a big
see.
participant.
The Chronics have been on a win streak, so I'm hoping to break it. Maybe.
Yeah, you can go out there and bust them up. Yeah, that'd be great. Break up the
cooler.
Chronics. All right, very good, David. And what do you have? Anything special coming up? You got?
Yeah, Friday I'll be at Country Club Miami raising some money for the guardianship program, and
Nice.
Saturday I'll be at Miami Springs raising some money. And this
Doubleheader.
Saturday in Miami Lakes there'll be a special ceremony for our late great friend Bob Graham. So.
Oh yeah, nice, man.
Yeah, they're gonna have a ceremony at a church, and then something afterwards. What used to be Steak 2, but the sports bar on Main Street. And he was just a man of the people and a great individual.
Whatever happened to Johnny Lopenzina? Is he still around? I want to say dead.
He is. He's still.
He's still around? Why,
he's still bleeding people with the Premier card. Yes, you got it.
That's it, man. I mean, talk about dismissing Gurggles unceremoniously. Dumped there by Mike Lubie Lubitz. So he's gone. And so are we. We're going to get Lubie over to Grandpa's. That's where they'll be. Early this morning, 10:30 edition. Mike Mayo's sort of brunch box. Wouldn't it be that?
Yes, it'd be like a brunch.
Brunch box. Okay, so call it today the brunch box. See if you can change the lettering on the
Probably won't be doing that.
on the graphic there. That'll be great. All right, watch Mayo because, he gets that liver and onions and lox and all. Not liver and onions, but chopped liver. He loves that. Chopped liver and turkey, I think, is a giant mistake. What do you think about that, Lubie? I mean,
yeah, it was horrendous. Even
disgusting.
Both Marks made a face. He's allowed to eat whatever he wants, but both Marks definitely made a face because it was fucking weird.
For a food critic, he really does have. I mean, you would have to be a little bit sort of existential when it came to your approach to food.
He's got to be willing to try shit, and he's definitely willing to try shit.
Like you have to not care, like nothing has any meaning. But yeah, I mean, some of the stuff that he considers good would really put into question his ability to judge some of the other finer things, I would think. But he's pretty good at that. When he starts writing that flowery language about fancy restaurants, he's very foo-foo, is he not?
He's great at it.
He could be known as Foo-Foo Mayo.
It's just there's a dichotomy between that and then him shoveling food in his face as the liquid drips off of his cheek and his chin.
Eating Skyline chili with his fingers, I thought was a little bit grotesque. No, and not indicative of a guy that would have the refined taste it would take to review the appetizers at Carbone.
It's like the aromatic essence. It's like when you walk in the door, and then you're like, is that the same human that just took ground beef with his fingers and shoved it into his nose?
Right. He just shoved a hot dog up his ass from Coney Island. He's talking about the pretentious nature of the atmosphere that pervaded the desk there where the maitre d' greeted him with not particularly friendly vibrations. All right, so have fun. I want to let you get going there, Lubie. Excellent. And I'm going to be all over the planet today. I actually have an appointment, not about the Achilles, which is blown. And of course, I go to a place to get, the whatever it is, the boot that I need, custom made or whatever, to deal with this thing. It might be like 3 months in this thing, which is going to be a disaster. But naturally, I mean, you want the whole thing to heal, and they tell me, oh well, geez, we can't give this to you for 3 days till we get it approved.
Of course,
a rare delay due to a Medicare discrepancy there. But I would have hoped that they would have had this thing approved beforehand. But so I go there to give me the thing. I walk around in it for 2 seconds, and they say, okay, give it back. This is never going to fucking heal up, Lubie. You're looking at a permanent fucking cripple here. And then I'm going to see the distinguished Dr. Cannell today.
Oh, nice.
And hope to get a little juice in the knee. I think that's going to happen too. So we'll see what happens.
That.
Yeah, I mean, amputation would probably be a better option at this point because everything is fucking wrong with this leg. All right, we will see you guys tomorrow. And later on, you can catch Lubie at doubleheader, 10:30 and 5 o'clock. with the Mike Mayo Lunchbox Show. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. And then you can catch me on, I think it's 106.9 FM, La España de Orlando.
Nice.
Somehow I'm doing that from 10 to 12. What the fuck?
I love it.
What happened, man?
Whatever. You're getting the checks are cashing. As we say, as long as
the guy sells me whatever pittance it is, I'm getting paid on that, but with the promise of big things ahead. There's an offer coming that I can't refuse, he says.
There you go.
All right. I probably have to learn Spanish, though, to be able to capitalize on this opportunity.
Probably.
I will see you next time as we leave you know that.
The time.
What the hell? My life has become a pathetic conundrum of disaster. It's 8:46.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Look what they done to my